welcome back to Midas Letter Live. We're here again. It's now Thursday. We have a lot to talk about.
Is it
today.
Thursday?
Thursday. We're very excited today because we've been buying and selling stocks today. Did you see what happened to the Patriot One?
Flying?
No, collapsed.
Well, there you go. It got overextended, obviously.
Well, somebody just pulled the plug and ran for the hills.
Did news come out?
No, there's no news.
At least when you say collapse, what, down 10 cents?
Down 23 cents. So it's
maybe it's a buy now.
Maybe. Let me pull up the chart here and see what we're looking at.
Can I go get my phone?
Your phone is right here.
What's it doing there?
I just put it in there because it was buzzing and ringing and whatnot.
Well, let's shut off the bringer.
Anyways, so yeah, Pat, look at that chart. Huh?
Where am I looking?
What? Where? Who? What? Where? Why? When? Look at that.
Yeah, that's okay.
That little humdinger down at the end of the day there. I'm going to put it up on full screen here. Here we go. Let's have a look at that.
What did it get up to? About $1.90?
Look at that. Whoa, boof.
Yeah. It looks like it got up to $1.90. But you know, just look at this candle right here.
This is the intraday.
Yeah, but let's
mass volume, big sell-off, must be news out. Let's go see. Let's go see what's going on. There's no news there. You know what we're going to do?
What?
We're going to give Martin Cronin a call right now and say, WTF.
WTF?
WTF.
What's that? What's that stock?
What the fudge?
What the fudge?
What the fudge? Hey, Ed, where are you going?
I'm going to get my charger.
Oh, okay.
So I can charge my phone. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll be right back. Hey, I'll be right back.
Ed is leaving the show.
Not for long.
Not to worry. Not to worry. Look at that. What has gone on to our beloved Patriot One? It has dropped 17 cents, down 10% practically. On what, I say? On what? Is there news somewhere that I can't see? Let me, let's pull up our Facebook and our YouTube crowds and see if anybody has an idea. This is just alarming. Extremely alarming. On what, I say? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, feedback.
Oh, there we go. Let's see. Hello, Jennifer Mason Haas. Hello, Ed. You're standing right in front of my camera.
Really?
Yes.
They can't, so nobody can see you.
Nobody can see me. They can see at your back and your fat butt.
But they can see
Dan
me.
Goulet. Hello, Dan. Hello, Rob Armstrong, Jeff Shee, Rob Armstrong, Cole Blanchard, Noah Miller, Dan Bodell. Hello, everybody. Well, welcome to the carnival. Welcome to the circus. So, our question of the day is what is happening with, there's Honest Pete Cunningham coming to us all the way from the UK. How you doing there, Peter Cunningham?
I think
top of the morning to you.
That was an Irish accent you just threw at him.
Yeah, well, so he's in the same continent.
I don't think you want to say that.
Time zone.
You don't want to say that to the people from Dublin.
Well, not to the people from Dublin.
Because I'm thinking. They should have, it'd be a great name for a hotel in Dublin.
Okay, Michael Baran says, all right, I better say his last name correctly this time. Did I say your last name correctly, Mr. Baran? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Holy cow, the people are just pouring in. Hey, there's Brett Allen. Hello, Brett. Ah! Boy, we're going to have fun today. So the big question that we're trying to answer right now is what the hell happened to Patriot One? Down 17 cents suddenly after steady days of climbing on rumors of some kind of a press release.
You know what? Every day it goes up, you're likely to find a day that'll come down. Statistically, think about it.
For every day it goes up, you're going to find
every time, the more often it goes up consecutively, the closer you are to it.
That makes no sense to me.
It makes
Explain it. Explain it. Maybe I'm just a little slow.
Has anything ever gone up every single day forever?
Yes.
What?
My blood pressure.
No, because if it even went up 1 point a day after a few hundred days,
I'd be looking like that.
You blow your stack.
I'd be looking for a lifetime supply of like heavy dosage CBDs.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to. So nobody knows what's going on with Patriot One.
There could be a real healthy dose of profit taking. You know?
Well, maybe, but it's only been trading up from like I guess it's started moving at $1.40. It had drifted down for the whole summer down to $1.30, $1.40, and then it took off from $1.40.
Hit $1.90.
I almost hit $1.90. And yeah, so wait, we have to say hello to our YouTube peeps, Freedom Unleashed.
Do we have any affiliates watching?
CBD Power is right.
Do we have any affiliates watching?
Hello, Justin. Justin's watching. Justin's one of our moderators and our correspondent. We have some killer footage coming from Big Sur, California today, courtesy of Justin Marshall, who you can talk to right now in the chat room on the YouTube channel, because that's where he is. And man, I'll tell you, that footage is something else. Did you see that footage?
Gee gosh darn.
You got a? Freedom Unleashed, BC Triangle, finally heating up thanks to Aubin. We're going to talk about Aubin. We're going to talk about Golden Ridge. We're going to talk about X-Row today.
X-Row is having a little...
don't you know?
Could be having a little breakout move.
And even Aurora is coming back to the bright side.
Breakout move on X-Row.
Even Aurora is coming back to the bright side.
Aurora's... And look at weed is leading the brigade in the marijuana space.
Weed.
WEED. It's a big one.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, it's over 30.
Okay.
Okay, so look it's over 37 now. That was down to 32.
Yeah, that's still trading within its range, though.
No, it hasn't been over 37 for a couple weeks.
Oh,
maybe I'm wrong.
Meh. That's 37.27, up 4.08%. That's been a pretty good performer. Look at even Aurora is up $1.29%. Sorry, celebrating.
1.2. Okay, here, weed. Okay, weed.
Weed. Give us some weed.
Kronos is up 4%. Weed's up 4%.
Look at that market cap, $8.2 billion. And let's see how Aurora is looking.
MedMen up a nice whopping almost 7% today. I like that.
Woo! Oh, Aurora's now got 936 million shares out.
That's
market
all?
cap of $5.87 billion.
Wow.
$1 billion. So maybe that's the end. That's 2 up sessions now for Aurora.
Yeah, but you know, 3-cent, 2-cent move yesterday. Come on.
Green Organic Dutchman's still sucking hind tit, Brett. Probably because you never come in here and say hello to us, huh?
Do you know where that expression came from?
You know, every time we talk about a good company, the stock goes up if the CEO is in the house. Have you noticed that?
What was the question?
You
said something about sucking the hind. You know what? I
said that T-God is still sucking hind tit here. 545. Not really doing much right now, but
okay. Well, let's take a look at.
If we could get somebody from T-God in here, you know, the stock would probably move a bit.
Maybe we need to talk to somebody at a higher up, as in the name of the symbols would suggest.
You mean you want to talk to the Lord? You're not going to talk to the Lord, are you?
It's not T-Lord. It's T-God.
T-God.
The Lord may not be.
It's the Green Organic Dutchman. There's no religion involved here. This is a religion-free zone, just so everybody knows.
What's that song about? Something, my religion.
I don't know. Like I said, Ed's religious-free zone.
Okay.
You're going to get some religion right up your
Woohoo! Woohoo!
All right, let's go back to those cannabis indexes and see what happened. Look at this. It's down 0.13%. That's meaningless. Let's go back to the index page and look at some of these big mother.
Let's go to the...
Let's arrange it by whose performance. So T-God in the worst performing position today is followed closely by...
No, here's what I don't understand. Here's what I don't understand.
Oh, boy.
Look, how can the index be down 6%? Oh, no, 6 points, down 0.1%.
0.1%.
Okay. And yet, most of your things are up here. So I get a sense there's something rotten in Denmark here. Look at this. How can this be down when you've got the biggest ones up?
Because it's the average.
Okay, but just look at. I'm no Descartes. Okay.
Descartes, the mathematician.
But when you look at this and you say average, well, there's up 6, up 4, up 4, up 4, up 4. down a paltry 0.2, down a 0.4, down a 0.7. You're saying that those three bring this result?
Yeah.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Well,
I don't buy it because, first of all, the biggest ones are up.
yeah, let's go get a calculator.
Look, trust me on this. There's no way. So something, anyway, you know what? I'm not going to, you know.
Well, I don't think the average is weighted. We're going to check this out, but...
oh, you don't think it's weighted?
Well, I think that would explain why the average is red. But we were going to talk to our...
I know my face gets red when I blush.
We're going to talk to our composite index engineers here. Let's look at the CSE index and see what's going on there. That one's looking brightly up. TerraSend, up 0.24%. Now, doesn't that always seem to be there?
Well, here, no, this one's up 4%.
Marafarm down 14.29%.
Right.
What did they do wrong today? Lotus
here. So are you telling me, okay, here, can I just throw this out? Not
Sure.
to be, all the things are red here, right? All of them. And we got green over here.
Well, that's because we're only looking at the top. See, if we go down here...
Yeah, you can see all the green ones.
There's all the green ones.
Oh, uh-huh.
Huh?
And
there you go. You got to look at...
Okay.
Got to look a little deeper, that's all. But let's see what's going on. The performance-wise, Health Space Data Systems, which is not a cannabis company, don't know what it's doing here, up 12.5%. Great. MedMen Enterprises, 396, up 7%. Finally,
that's a nice move.
For them.
Look at health. Look at the bottom one, 12%.
Yep.
Wow.
Haiku's up. Everything's up. Everything's up. So,
well,
talking about Exro, Ed, you know, I finally started buying that stock today. And the thing I noticed as soon as I started trying to buy some of that stock is there's no stock around. And it's closing a penny a day or two on like 20, 30, 40,000 shares traded. And so trying to build a position in that stock is like...
it's like finding
difficult.
hen's teeth.
Well, it's like, let's see, we need a good analogy. Like finding hen's teeth. That's a good one.
Yeah, because I don't think the last 10 I looked at had, well, maybe...
It's like trying to pump up a tire full of holes.
Yeah.
That's not a bad one, eh?
A bit futile.
It is futile. Anyways, so,
okay.
you know, today we had a conversation.
Let's look at the chart of Exro.
Okay.
Only because you mentioned it.
No, we're going to talk about Exro in a little while.
Okay.
Right now, we're going to talk to... where's my damn cheat sheets gone? Sorry? We're going to talk to Clint Sharples from Heritage Cannabis, who I had a conversation with earlier today. Hey, welcome back to Midas Letter Live. In this segment, my guest is Clint Sharples, and he's the chairman of Heritage Cannabis Holdings Corp, trading on the CSE under the symbol CANN. Welcome back, Clint.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to be back here again.
Yeah, so last time I talked to you was about 6 months ago, and you had a project in BC, and we're just kind of getting going in the whole cannabis thing. Now, you're midway through a takeover of a private company that I happen to be a shareholder of, and so I'm quite familiar with, which should make this a very easy conversation. Tell me about the terms of the takeover and what your plans are in terms of bringing all of this together.
Sure. Yeah, but 6 months ago when we spoke, we were just completing our build out in Falkland, British Columbia under PhyeinMed, which is a subsidiary of Heritage. And we had the plans of completing that facility, putting in our evidence package, and then getting our original license to cultivate. That all happened. In fact, we had our license awarded to us about 3 weeks ago. And it was in a phenomenally short period of time. It was 7 weeks from evidence package being submitted to being awarded. We have a fantastic team out in British Columbia and did a great job.
Great.
In looking at that, our team that I talk about out in BC has a lot of potentials in the industry. We're getting approached by a lot of people who are looking at partnering with us in some way, shape, or form in providing products to be able to bring to the Canadian market and other various markets. In looking at that, we needed to find a little bit more capacity. We're building as quick as we can out in British Columbia, but at this point in time, we have little over 15,000 square feet of total facility, and adding greenhouses. Right now, 4 greenhouses, 40,000 square feet of greenhouse are being added. More are being ordered and will be brought in shortly. However, in looking at the market and with obviously now with legalization being announced and we have a date, not sure how quickly the market will adapt to that date, but we want to be prepared for at least to be able to be in full swing by Q1 2019, which is when we believe the actual Canadian market will be ready to start properly going retail. So in that, we went looking for someone who had some decent scalability, had a setup right now, and future plans that really showed that they had the blue sky potential. CannaCure came to our attention via a consultant we're working with who we had hired to go and find someone that met this criteria. And after meeting the people, a great group of people, and seeing their facility, wonderful state-of-the-art facility down in the Niagara region. I'm not sure when the last time you were able to tour it was, but they've done a fantastic job with building their first 24,000 square feet inside a 122,000 square foot facility. So that kind of scalability on an indoor grow was very exciting to us. But in addition, they have an option to acquire over 3 million square feet of existing greenhouse, which is currently doing produce production. Very interesting to us as there's current cash flow in that business, current profits, and could be segregated off, and you can grow cannabis or hemp at a certain scale, depending on what you wanted to do and how you wanted to introduce it.
Sure. Yeah. That greenhouse I've been to actually a few times because I was kind of trying to help locate a partner for them as well. The thing that attracted me most about it was the idea that you could, for zero CapEx investment, you could immediately crank up 30 acres under poly and grow not perhaps the ultra premium flower, but you could certainly grow a lot of cannabis in a greenhouse scenario, and you could do so with no extra lighting, with a minimum investment in HVAC, and so I'm excited to see that this is moving forward.
Yeah, it's a world-class facility, no doubt, and not only that, there's a world-class team of growers there too. Yeah,
what's the? Are you conversant with the economics of the existing greenhouse operation? How much are they producing a year?
Yeah, on the produce side, we've had an opportunity to review their financials. Got an NDA, can't talk about it. They're a private company, but it's an impressive outfit. They know what they're doing in growing. They know what they're doing in selling the products they have right now. Sure. And they seem to be pretty anxious to get going into this business too.
Right, right. So then, does that mean the greenhouse operation in Leamington would be activated next year if you were to complete the acquisition of CannaCure?
We have a little bit of time to figure that out. Right now, with the way that the product, when the product gets grown down in Leamington, it would likely be for extraction material, and that's fantastic to us if we get into the export of some oils and extraction materials. However, a lot of that needs to be figured out with Health Canada. We are excited to join the rest of the industry with edibles, with capsules, with anything that will be eventually brought forward by Health Canada and legalized, as what you've seen in the United States, moving from the dry flower market to largely the edible market, has been the movement for the entire dollars and cents.
Okay, so so you've got your license now in Falkland. The license with CannaCure is forthcoming at some point, I'm assuming?
We're hoping so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's, Health Canada has their evidence package and has reviewed it, so it's, we're getting there.
So then I guess you're going to start supplying the market from your facility in Falkland.
Correct.
And when do you expect to actually be able to bring product to market from that?
We'll be completed our first grow by the end of this year, this calendar year. So it'll be early into Q1. Obviously, with PhyeinMed having a sales ability via the Canopy Growth Program, they've been fantastic with us. They're good people to deal with, and we're very happy to be part of that. Particularly given the slow onset of retail outlets in all the provinces. So you're still looking at primarily online ordering and courier or mail delivery. So we're happy to be a part of that Canopy process. And we're looking at doing a controlled build. There's not going to be any try to blow this whole thing up and be everything to everybody overnight. That's a recipe for failure.
Right.
I've run businesses before. I've built management teams, and we've had steady growth that delivers profits, and we're not looking at doing anything differently in this.
Interesting. The CapEx requirement to realize all of your near-term goals, how much do you need and how much do you have now?
Well, it kind of splits into needs and wants right now. So on the need side, both PhyeinMed and CannaCure have completed their phase 1 build. A few little things here and there to finish off, but nothing major. PhyeinMed's fully into their phase 2 expansion with the greenhouses. We need to fund some greenhouses, so there'll be a few $1 million of requirement there. CannaCure has a phase 2 budget. Their phase 2 is split into two, so it's a phase 2A and a B. And to get moving on the A would be about a $5 million build. CannaCure will review their phase 2 plans. Given an overlap now with PhyeinMed, we'll look to figure out where is the best utilization of capital. It might be more on the extraction side than on the grow side, but that'll be something that our team, who knows way more about this than I do, they'll dive into that. And between the cannabis and PhyeinMed teams, they'll find out a good solution for that.
Sure. So are the investment banks at this point open to financing operations at your stage of development at this point in the cannabis space?
Sure, they seem to be.
Yeah.
We've had early discussions with them. We're very recent in announcing this, very recent in announcing our license. So we've had some conversations this week and more scheduled for next week. We'll be choosing our partners to help us get to our financing goal.
Okay. Well, that's a great update, Clint. We're going to leave it there for now. We're going to come back to you as things develop. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Hey, thanks for having me again.
That was cool. Did you think? You ever seen anything like that before? Clint Sharples taking over the world. CannaCure. Could be a good thing.
Is he a Toronto native?
No, he's a West Coast guy. He's a West Coast guy.
WCG, West Coast guy.
Yep.
Isn't there a song by Pet Shop Boys, West Town Girls?
East Side Boys and West End Girls. West End Girls.
West End Girls.
West End Girls.
Those guys are pretty funky, weren't they?
What do you mean? Did they die in a plane crash? They're still around. I saw them actually. Last time I saw the Pet Shop Boys live was in Lima. Lima, Peru.
They were in Lima.
They were in Lima?
No.
They sold out Lima at the Jockey Stadium just outside of Lima. You ever gone and seen a live show in Lima?
So is that like 1,000 people?
No, it was like 40,000 people. It's huge. Huge!
I like Lima. I must just say, of all the places I had been to, the fact that they have that huge, sharp drop at the ocean, and you got those guys gliding on the air, riding those currents, that was pretty special.
Yeah.
And then I went to a restaurant down below on the water, and all the servers had white real bow ties, starched collars, and white gloves.
Oh yeah.
And there must have been 5 waiters per table, and it was it reminded me of being in Spain maybe at the turn of the century, 100 years ago. Like it just that. You know how elegant.
You were in Spain 100 years ago? You look good for 100 and what? 140.
No, it's my daily regimen.
CBDs, THCs, and, vodka, scotch,
I'd like
beer.
to do a mud pack.
Oh.
What do you call it? A
mud pack.
mud pack.
It's like a dirty Sanchez.
Remember? Jesus. Oh.
And we're trying to run a clean show here. Let's not just.
Here, let me use your finger.
No.
I need a mustache.
Get away from me, you prevert. Anyways,
well, I think we got something that the audience is going to appreciate here. That we.
What do you think?
We've been talking.
What do we got? We got. Okay, let's talk about XRO. Now, we want to be clear.
We've been talking about this.
It's been us buying it all day long, trying to buy it.
Yeah,
and
we're buying it.
So it's us and ours who have basically half the market today. But we're starting to buy this thing because it's got a story that we're going to have the CEO.
We're going to have the CEO on here. We don't know the date yet, but he's going to come on here, and he's.
Where does he live?
He lives in Vancouver, but I know he's got a property on the water. I don't know, and he's been in technology business in California. Mm-hmm. Mark Godsey. I have not met him, but I've talked to him several times on the phone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that was set up. That was set up by a broker over at Lead. Yeah. Lead's very active in the stock, and you know what?
Look at. I can't even get
power conversion, efficiency in the electric motor space. Many applications. Many are called, few are chosen.
So why would power conversion for electric motors be such a big deal?
Well, you know what? Like I never really studied electricity. Okay, and that's one of the things. If I could, I should just take a course in electricity so I can understand how because it's all about positive and negative, right? Duh.
I think there are some intricacies, I think, when they're talking about the power.
Well, okay, for instance, there's a big, apparently it's very difficult. This is why we need some technical people here, but everybody I talk to about this says this has monster implications. Monster.
For Tesla?
For municipalities around the world in terms of efficiency for electric buses.
For anything that has an electric motor is going to use less electricity because it's more efficient.
It's going to charge batteries and discharge batteries more efficiently.
So it's a battery technology.
That's one of it. But I think it's a lot more than that.
We need to get the CEO in here, Ed.
You know what? If I knew of everything there was to know.
It's just so confusing. I'm going to buy more.
If we all understood it, we wouldn't buy it.
It's too confusing. Buy another 100,000 shares.
Don't ask me for any more information because I've already told you more than I know.
Wow. Well, I feel like I haven't really heard much.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyways, did you hear about Tesla CEO Elon Musk? They say he's broken securities laws by tweeting that he's considering taking Tesla private at $4.20 a share, and that funding was secured. Now, this is interesting because the New York Times ran a story analyzing this from an opinion perspective and from a journalistic reporting perspective, and said that technically Elon Musk should actually now be charged with securities fraud. So, what does it tell you about a large cap U.S. company who's...
Well, let's put up the chart of Tesla to see how it's reacting, because maybe, all the ingredients are there. Like it's all in the cake. In other words, what the action's been since he made the statement might give us some... what if he doesn't have the funding? I think that's the problem. If he says,
that's just it. He said funding secured, which is a misleading statement in and of itself. The stock's off 5.4% today.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
No, and I'll bet you look at the press releases. Alert, Kaplan Fox announces investigation of Tesla. Scott & Scott at Law LLP announces investigation into Tesla. Hagens Berman alerts Shart and Put investors. Like, he just caused himself a world of pain by doing that. Which you would think a guy like Elon Musk, wouldn't he know better? It's like, you don't tweet out.
Maybe there's a
like that's just pure manipulation.
Is he a bit of a savant?
A savant?
Do I need new glasses?
You mean idiot savant?
No, I didn't say idiot savant. I said savant.
Look at this guy's going to go mine asteroids. He's going to
do this, and this.
Exactly. I think he's a fairly smart individual who is one hell of a promoter.
Yeah. You know what? This thing.
I think it's about to blow up.
Okay, so let's see here. So look at.
He's saying that he has funding to take it private at $4.20 a share. It's trading at $3.50. It was trading at $3.70 yesterday. That's just outright fraud.
Yeah, but this thing, okay, but just to, you know, to be the devil's advocate to what you just said.
Does that mean like you're the lawyer for the devil?
This thing is got a history of volatility.
Does the devil's advocate mean you're the lawyer for the devil?
Well, I'm just trying to point out the other side. This is a volatile stock.
I'm going to put it up on full screen, okay?
Whoa.
Watch out, Ed.
Yeah, look at. I tell you, this is a volatile stock.
Whoop.
Look at this.
Whoop. Whoop.
He says, I think I need to stock a little higher. I got an idea. Why don't I just put in a little news?
I gotta sell some stock for the weekend.
Rumor
I'm gonna buy another sailboat.
What's going on at Tesla? Well, I'll tell you. There's a rumor going around, and I'm going to take it private at $4.20. How about that?
And I've got the money.
Well, if you got the money, why are you doing all this other shit?
Exactly.
If you got that kind of money.
Apparently, the legality of his tweet largely revolves around the Reed-Hastings rule. Do you know what the Reed-Hastings rule states?
I think I'm going to find out.
Companies can disclose important business information on social networks only if they alert investors as to where those updates will appear. If Tesla made clear that Musk might share valuable info on Twitter, the executive can likely rest easy. If it had only told them to expect new highs, its official accounts or its investor relations site, Musk could be in trouble. Well, he didn't do either of those. He did it on Twitter without any forewarning. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see if there is a uniform application of justice across securities law in the United States, or whether there's a two-tiered application of justice where the guys at the top of the food chain get a skate and a pass to skate by.
Pasta.
You
going for pasta?
Pasta butter. Anyways, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. I'm not worried about a small move like that because it's already moved from about 280. Oh, by the way, for you golfers out there, big weekend this weekend, PGA, one of the four majors, last of the four majors. Could be interesting to see who wins that one. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, what's that?
Oh, that's my. I got a partial fill.
You keep
3,000. Got a partial fill on
3,000 shares. Wow, they really want you to have it badly, don't they?
Well, they know they just see that I've got this appetite, and so they're just like dangling small bits for me and counting on.
Would you say your appetite is somewhat voracious for this stock?
My appetite is fixed. It's not voracious. However.
43 bid now.
43 bid.
Last
really?
at 45. Your earlier purchases today look quite intelligent.
I'm making money.
Jeepers creepers, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you know, it's so funny that it's hard to buy 100,000 shares of this thing.
I just want to look at the...
Another one that we were... So Ed, you know about Golden Ridge today? You know you're not on a camera right now. You're kind of like...
Yeah, but people can hear me.
Yeah, I know, but it's not really good for the show.
The Invisible Man's... Say, Invisible Man. I just wanted to see, there's only, I think, about 20,000 shares offered to 49 cents on this thing.
Huh. Yeah, so Golden Ridge and Aben. Did you see what happened with Aben Resources today?
Can I make remember what we were talking about yesterday about putting up the most actives on the exchange? So you put up the most actives, what's going to be at the top of the list? Aben and Costello.
Today. Not yesterday.
Put it on today. No, today.
Yeah, today.
So there we can look at it and say, okay, what's going on here? Let's say you didn't get any news, you didn't know they pulled out a hole.
Yeah, well, that's just it. If we look at it today, this is my point, that the value of discussing the most active at the end of day is limited.
Except if it gapped another 20 cents tomorrow.
If it did.
Then you'd see what I mean? Like that's...
But look what has happened. It's backed off to 30 cents now on 21 million. Whoa! You just missed the hand, Ed. You just missed the monster hand.
It's scary. I don't even want to look. It's too scary.
I know. Anyway, so look, it's backed off to 30 cents, 21 million shares. What does that tell you? That the people with the cheap paper are willing sellers. So they're willing to sell it. They're not long-term holders.
But this. Look at this candle.
Oh, could be day traders exiting.
Look at this candle. There's a gap.
Yeah, that's today.
Yeah, so the high was what, 36, 35?
Yep.
The low was 29?
Yep.
Yeah, that's not a good candle, actually, to be honest with you, because it's closing near the lows. Now,
it's irresolute. It renders the whole price irresolute, in my view. There's the 5-day look. So if we looked at the end of the chart yesterday, you'd see it at 20 cents with no special volume. So I first stumbled across this at like 15 minutes after the market opened. I was just looking at the high volume traders, and at that point it had already gapped up to 36. But it only, you know, it's like there's no way you're going to run in there and chase it on a single drill hole.
But okay, just again, so if you looked at some of the other ones that had great moves on their original drill, okay, for instance, if we would have picked up the SIC on the first day,
SIC.
yeah,
Yeah.
it kept going.
Well,
It did.
you'd have to be prescient, though. You wouldn't be able to base that on. Well, that's true.
But in other words, it gives you a clue. Why is all of a sudden there's so much volume here?
Well, so here's why it wouldn't show up on that. It was not most active.
But it is today.
Yeah.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Well,
you wanted to say, look, we're most active here because tomorrow we're going to go up. Doesn't work that way.
Here's the play that so this is the one I'm playing today. And Golden Ridge Resources, 50 kilometers
down. This is
down.
a game you're playing?
I'm playing with myself and my bank account.
Look at Golden Ridge. Oh my God.
Look at,
is that at 22 cents?
That's 22 cents. So
now, what's going on there? That's a new.
Yeah, that's up. So this is
what?
4 million shares on the day. No drill hole announced. Nothing announced.
No, but they announced.
But they're 50 kilometers north of Alvin.
No, but you know what they announced? They announced.
The last announcement was July 18th.
No. What's it say?
Golden Ridge announces intercepts broad intervals of porphyry-style mineralization in the Williams zone. That was July 18th.
But I thought I just saw it. Just a minute. You know, I think on Stockwatch. Is that Stockwatch?
Nope. This is
okay.
Media.
Okay. Can I just, let me just, and I don't want to argue with you, okay?
Why not? It's fun.
Okay, just, well, let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun arguing. Look, it lasts at 45 now, Ed, on the XRO.
Golden.
Look at
put up the chart.
What? I'm looking at XRO here. Look at it. Last at 45. Bid 43 to 46. See? Every time I buy a couple of that, I put up an.
Golden is now 23 to 24. Mm-hmm. Now, did I hear you say you might have picked up some shares today at 20?
I got 100 at 19 and a half or something like that. I got 100 at 19 and a half.
You know, Blade. I talked to Mike Blady today.
So did I.
And he said that
that's what got me buying the stock.
He's got to go. He's in a golf tournament in an hour, but if you call him right now, he might be able to spend a few words with us.
Let's see if we can get Mike Blady on the phone here.
604.
No, I know the number.
720.
Don't need, like I said. All right.
Hi, you've reached the voicemail, Mike Blady. Please leave me a detailed message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks a lot and have a great day. After leaving a message, you can hang up.
Well, went straight to voicemail, Ed.
Well, you know, Blady is, as we know, quite the golfer.
Now,
isn't it interesting, though, that, you know, we were talking about, you were very being somewhat prescient when you were saying, you know, the metals look like they're starting to bubble a bit. Well, and here we got, look at gold.
What does it take to catalyze a metals market? It takes a few good drill holes and people to respond to them. Which
catalyze? Is that like cattle?
No, that's where you put cows in a blender. Catalyze.
Oh,
that's no
beef stew.
No, no. You know, now with so we had the result from Sable Resources, which was essentially the equivalent to a fart in the wind, but they intercepted an equivalent of 580 grams silver equivalent across silver, lead, and zinc down in Mexico across 12 meters.
He says it's like 7 grams of gold over 50 meters.
Okay, I'll take that.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's big. And
yeah, but the stock did nothing.
Well,
in fact, it's back below.
I don't, you know, look I don't know why. For instance, our friend Mike and I. Let me just get back to this. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around here, but I got an important announcement to make.
On the show?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. I got a real special.
Really?
Well, we'll see.
You're not playing video games over there.
Yes, I am.
That's what I thought.
Are you winning? Well, I'm playing by myself.
Look at 43.46 now, last at 45 on the XRO.
I know.
262,000 shares traded. Boom. This thing hasn't traded 262,000 shares in the last year in a single day. Look at that chart.
Okay, so here's the last press release on Hank.
Okay.
On Golden Ridge. This was on
Okay, we can't have dead air, Ed, or animal
July
noises.
18th. Golden Ridge completes 2 drill holes at Hank.
Yeah, we already had that announcement, Ed.
I thought that was August. For some reason, I looked at it yesterday. I thought it came out yesterday.
No, 9.
Well, something must be. You know what? It sounds like they've got. It sounds like. Again, I don't want to speak on behalf for Mike Blady here, but doesn't it seem like they've completed the holes? They're probably getting some testing done, and maybe there's some news leaking.
Whoa, sorry, they're poking holes and getting some testing done? What's wrong with them exactly? Oh, you're talking about the stock.
Talking about the drilling.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something's wrong with Blady and he's getting holes poked and he's being tested for some disease.
No. Let's not go there.
Okay, you know what? We have a heavy load of individuals that want us to talk about Patriot One and what happened to Patriot One today. What the hell happened to Patriot One? Let's see if we can get Mike Blady, not Mike Blady. Let's try to get Martin Cronin on the phone right now. See what he has to say. We'll put him on the hot spot. Martin, if you're watching, we're calling you right now. If you don't want to talk to us, don't answer. If you do want to talk to us, pick up the phone. Here we go. Oh, what the hell? That's not his phone number. I've only got his email address here. That's unacceptable. Okay, let's try Jeff Tyndale. He won't be watching.
Who?
Tyndale, the CFO. We'll give him a ding-a-ling. It's ringing. Here we go. Boy, this would be great. We put company executives on the show with no preparation.
Yeah, but they might see you calling.
Hey, Jeff.
It's Jeff Tyndale. Please leave a message after the tone.
At the tone, please record your message.
No, straight to voicemail. I guess he's on to us. Ed. Now, have you got any sort of thoughts on any other companies today, Ed?
Put up the chart on the XRO.
We just did that.
Oh, did we? Okay, I didn't see that.
We got to talk about some other companies now. But anyway, so we're going to go back to look at some. Nobody cares about cannabis charts, apparently. But we're going to go look at cannabis charts anyways.
Let's look at the weed chart.
You want to look at the weed chart? I don't think anybody cares about the weed chart because it's so expensive. It's just an institutional play now.
Well,
there you go. Weed.
Yeah.
Give us weed. But it's starting to make a bit of a run for a new high, I would say.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I don't know about. I think it's going to have trouble getting through 40. Right. I think if you look at get that out of there.
Get that out of there.
No, 40 here, a little bit of resistance there again. But then it burst through, and now we broke that. So now I think we're going to, we'll see. We'll see. It's good. It's going up. Well, unless you're short.
Is that a prediction? Or is that an observation? Is that a technical indication? Anyway,
do I look a little like I'm a bit of a dimwit today?
No. You look like you probably ate a bunch of cannabis cookies last night, and they probably didn't get enough sleep. Have I nailed the nail on the head, Ed?
Yeah, you've.
So today you're special dread.
Special dread.
Special.
Special red. My face is so flushed with alcohol consumption.
Oh, did you booze it up last night too?
Well, kind of hard, not to wash down those cookies with a little red wine. You know?
I see. Red wine and cookies.
Red wine goes good with
Breakfast
with the dark the chocolate chips.
You know, I had a conversation with Anton Mattadeen from Rise Life Sciences earlier today.
I just had a great idea.
What's that?
You know how you got cannabis laced cookies?
Yeah.
Why not get some of this chocolate from Cali Gold and then chip it up and put it in dough, and then you got chocolate chips.
And here's the interview with Anton Mattadeen from Rise Life Sciences.
What a great idea.
Hey, welcome back to Midas Letter Live. My guest in this segment is Anton Mattadeen. He is the CEO of Rise Life Science Corp, trading on the CSE under the symbol RLSC. Anton, welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah,
Thanks
let's talk about Rise. I've been sort of watching this thing peripherally with one eye,
Okay.
and it kind of, it wasn't right up in my wheelhouse, so I didn't jump in on it. But what is the raison d'être for Rise?
Well, our target is consumer products. We've taken a look at the entire market space. We see a lot of movement when it comes to cultivation, and I think that's being handled very, very well. But we're looking at the other side of the equation, and eventually these products have to end up in the hands of the consumers.
Right.
And there's a brilliant opportunity, I think, to actually create a strong brand, because that's really what consumers want.
Right. Sure. So being focused on consumer packaged goods, you're not focused on being a cultivator or an extractor, because you're going to be able to acquire that stuff in the market.
Exactly.
That is, I've been waiting for somebody to show up here and come up with that business model, because that's, if you look at the price of CBD and the fact that they're about to license the first 5,000 acre outdoor CBD facility in, I think it's Kansas or Kentucky, there's all kinds of open field CBD stuff coming. So the price of CBD is going to go down to sub 1 penny per unit of production, without a doubt.
That's correct.
THC remains to be seen, but still, we're looking at a plant that, in a enclosed environment, you can grow 6 crops a year.
Yeah, that I think is the biggest challenge, is the regulatory conditions, because it's different for THC and CBD in different environments. Now we know that with the laws that are being passed in the U.S., eventually it could happen very quickly. CBD is going to be descheduled,
right?
And when that occurs, the lid gets blown off of this thing, because
Sure.
now you can sell to 50 states and 22 countries around the world, and it's a legal product.
Right. Doesn't even THC have to become descheduled now that the FDA has actually approved a drug?
They're talking about it, but they're still leaning towards what the states want to do. What does each state, what conditions do they want to follow? And then, of course, you've got the feds that have their own view of things as well. So
Right.
We'll have to see where that lands.
And they're just wacky. So recently you closed a deal to buy Cultivate Kind and Life Bloom Organics. Tell me how they fit into your strategy.
Okay, Cultivate Kind originally was our agency of record in California, and just as a background, our focus was to ply what is arguably the most creative cannabis market, and also the biggest cannabis market in the world, in the state of California. With the advent of legalization, the fact that they've had 22 years of retail exposure experience, they probably tried all kinds of iterations. So there's a very, very good communication strategy with their actual customers. So Cultivate Kind, as our agency of record, as well as having great solid chops when it comes to dealing with consumer products across the board, they're also deep in the cannabis space. They've been one of the early marketers in the cannabis space, and they really understand. They understand the market. They understand the nuances associated with California and all the different regions there.
Mm-hmm. And what about Life Bloom Organics?
Now, Life Bloom Organics happens to be a product company, nanoemulsified solutions. So they're oral sprays. They have 2 products right now, which is a sleep solution and a pain and wellness solution. And they're getting great reviews. They've been in market since December. So by doing this acquisition, not only do we get the retail engine on the ground and the ability to expand ourselves, we also inherit products and a distribution arena in California. So they're currently in over 120 premium retail locations. So we're going to match that with our Careza line of sexual enhancement and arousal products.
Ooh, that sounds...
Yeah.
Ooh, sexual arousal. Woo, just saying that. Ooh, I'm going to put my feet in cold water here. Okay, so you're going to start selling, your products are already available throughout California right now?
Our products are already in California.
Okay, and so are you planning to stay U.S. focused, or is this going to be a Canada play as well?
This is going to be a global play. I mean, we're looking at the entire market space.
Okay.
You know, we're in California, obviously, because of the gravity of that market there. But everything that we produce in that market space, everything that we get a chance to test against the retail market, we can take anywhere that's amenable. So it positions us perfectly when we go through legalization here. We can bring certain products to market. We will know how it acts in market, so you know we'll have those little cues, and then it sets us up to also take a look at the European market as well. So we've kind of got a grand strategy around this.
Yeah, I love it. And so is this something that you've got to wait for rules to change in different jurisdictions before you can actually go in there with a product strategy? Or is this something where you're going to say, okay, we're watching this market unfold, we're going to develop a product strategy based on what we think is going to happen?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, we know for a fact that from the standpoint of managing CBD, we know that that's a great entry point to the wider marketplace. So our focus has always been on, and the question that we asked ourselves at the outset was, we noted that most organizations are really focused, and most conversations are even focused on the 10% of the population that actually utilizes cannabis in their lifestyle today. Okay?
10%?
Yeah, roughly about 10%.
Wow,
okay?
I thought that was very low.
Well, you know, I mean, it's a conservative number, but you know, roughly those are the tradition. That's the traditional market space. But what about the other 90%? You know, what about all of these people out there that once the stigma is removed from cannabis and they understand what it can do for them? You know, we believe there's quite a lot of people that are going to want to roll this into their lifestyle.
Yeah.
So that's why we have our target where it is.
Yeah. I had a strange experience this week in that, you know, I've smoked cannabis relentlessly up until I was about 25. And then it was just like I just got too spacey, and I was non-communicative, and I was introverted, and it was like, this is not any longer a socially useful substance to me. This week I ordered a 30 milliliter little vial of 1,000 milligrams of CBD with less than 1% THC in the entire jar. And the idea was, because I have this dog that has a skin condition that she gets in the summer, and I thought, well, CBDs are supposed to have a homeostatic effect on any animal with the endocannabinoids. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to give one for me and one for the dog. And so I tried it, gave some to the dog, and I was thinking it's CBD. It doesn't do anything for you at all. And then an hour later, I was watching videos on the couch, and I'm looking at the dog, and the dog's looking at me, and it's like I feel like I'm tingling all over, and I just felt so good. Yeah. Like I just felt relaxed and focused, and my mind was sharp, and it was just, there is a CBD effect physically.
Oh, certainly is.
And it's not so mental, but I just at that moment realized that I love CBDs. So it's not that I've started, you know, dosing CBDs every night, but it's like now I think, you know, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. It's Friday night. I'm not going to try to smoke a cannabis joint that's 18% THC. No, I'm going to do an eyedropper full of CBDs under the tongue. So when you talk about the other 90%, this is my long-winded way of hijacking your story. The other 90%, it strikes me that if there was an entity out there like you guys to say, you know, if the high is not for you, because the high is what turns a lot of people off. they just find themselves losing control. But if you were to do the CBDs, there's no loss of control mentally of your thought processes or feelings of anxiety. And so I think that's probably one of the great opportunities for the other 90% that you referenced.
I believe you're absolutely correct. We affectionately call it the happy pill, because it really does. There is a noticeable shift if you are utilizing what we call impactful genetics. Okay. So
I don't know what that means.
There
exactly.
is, well, there's CBD isolate. Right. And then there's whole plant matrix, and we've found that the whole plant matrix just offers a real shift, like a noticeable shift. It's not psychoactive in nature, but what it does, it sets an entire new threshold for your stress. It just drops that baseline. And our argument, and the argument that we put forward with our sexual pleasure products. And with our health and wellness products is that, the biggest thing that we face out there today is stress. If you can reduce stress, you will operate better in every facet of your life, including better sex and everything else. So that's our focus. We understand that there's been this, cannabis has had a 5,000-year relationship with sex. Right. You go back to the Kama Sutra, and there's, as a matter of fact, that one of the product names that we utilize is derived from that. Careza, our sexual enhancement product, is really focused on the actual name means the purposeful delay of orgasm in order to achieve the ultimate orgasm for both parties.
Whoa, how tantric.
That's tantric. That's totally tantric.
Wow. I can't wait to try that. So it's for sale now in California.
It's for sale in California.
I'm going to California a couple times this month. I'm going to look for it.
Okay.
So that's a great introduction to the company, Anton. We're going to come back to you in a few months' time, see where you're at. Thank you very much for telling us about Rise.
Thanks very much for having me on. Take care.
Hey, how's it going? We're back. That was, Mattadeen. How about that? Some slippery hemp lubricant for your intimate parts.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, that's what they do. They make hemp lubricant.
Why didn't they just figure out a way to make humans hemp plants, and then we don't have to worry about anything anymore?
I think we might have been hemp plants in a former life. If you look at our hands, you know what a hemp leaf looks like? A marijuana leaf? Yeah. 5 nodes, 5 fingers.
Yeah.
So the leaves are the hands of the...
Let's roll that hand up and smoke it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, here we are at almost the end of the week. It's been a fun 3 days so far this week, shortened week.
Yeah.
I think we should take this show on the road.
Where do you want to take it, Ed?
How about Timbuktu?
Timbuktu?
Yes.
Where is that exactly?
I don't know. Timbuktu, I think that's in Nepal or something like that, isn't it?
You got me there. You've got me there. You know what I'm doing?
I don't know what you're doing.
I'm buying another 75,000 shares of... what the... Today only, what's going on here? Warning, your order was not posted. There are warnings with your order.
Oh yeah, you know what? If you put orders in late in the day.
Submit order and accept all warnings. Your order will be submitted on a best efforts basis.
What are you buying on what exchange?
On the TSX Venture.
Yeah, they really don't like to see market orders at the end of the day. They start calling you. They may ask you, for instance, because this happened to me.
Oh, because they think you're high closing.
You might work for them.
It's down 4 cents on the day. If I get filled, it'll be
which one? Which one?
SIC.
Where's it at now?
36.
Yeah, I you know what? Just soft.
No, I just wanted to bring up my whole position to 500,000 shares in the market.
Okay, well, you can do it tomorrow morning.
Yeah, tomorrow morning's, that's the morning. I'll talk myself out of it. Anyways, we've got Justin Marshall joining us from Salinas Valley.
Is that live? Or is that a film?
No, it's a pre-record that he did earlier.
Okay.
And so we're going to roll that one right now.
Spending a lot of time here in the Salinas Valley because this is the agricultural center of the world, as far as I'm concerned. 80% of the produce for America comes out of the Salinas Valley, and it's said that within 5 years, cannabis will be the #1 cash crop. So today we're sitting here with TJ Magallanes down here at Sur Farms in the Salinas Valley. TJ is an entrepreneur and he's heading up this beautiful operation. TJ, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on here at Sur Farms?
Sure. First off, thanks, Justin, for coming down and visiting us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we are basically a licensed facility right now. We're operating on our temporary license as we move forward towards gaining our annual licenses, just like everybody else who's cultivating out there. And yeah, we are in the process of building out our facility. We've started and been kind of self-funded along the way. And we're on the path to build out about 250,000 square feet of greenhouse here on our property.
So a 250,000 square foot greenhouse, that leads me to say with these stackable licenses that are available here in Monterey County, that really adds to a growing cannabis company such as yours to implement the organic growing that you've been doing and do it on a large scale with some automation, and you're able to keep your cost of production down near $1 a gram, which is quite impressive. And as you build out the new facility, you'll be able to use a positive pressure system, you'll be able to use your organic teas that you're growing, and you're going to be able to really be leaders in the industry. Tell us more about where you see the future.
Well, I think the future, at least here in the Salinas Valley, is going to really come down to environmental control and how well we basically quarantine our plants away from all the other contaminants that we have down here. You know, we have pests, bugs, we have dirt and dust and the wind and all this different stuff that can damage cannabis. So we really want to make sure that we limit the things coming in and out of our greenhouse. So it kind of comes down to the sterilization procedure, having good nets, and keeping the humidity down, basically.
Wow. And you're able to add beneficial nematodes and anti-fungicides and all these things that are organic to maintain a very healthy root system. Now, you mentioned that you like to use a special soil that you're able to pretty much create using the most healthy soil possible for ultimately the most healthy plants possible. Tell us a little bit about your soil.
Absolutely. So it comes down to having a living soil with the right mix of beneficials and basically, you know, compost. There's a lot that goes into having a good soil, and I think it starts out with making sure that your input products are clean and from a clean organic source. You don't want to necessarily get something from yard waste where people have been spraying you know, home pesticides and stuff. So we work really closely with our soil producers.
Great, great. Well, I'm sure a lot of our investors want to know, as the future is happening very fast and we're here on the south end of the Silicon Valley where a lot of technology is implemented, are you seeing cryptocurrencies coming online and blockchain technologies coming online? You mentioned that you're able to do your own blockchain technology using your own system right now, but soon that might change as new systems come online?
Well, I think as far as like blockchain and cryptocurrencies goes, you know, I've definitely dealt with a few distributors that are talking about it. Us ourselves, we haven't quite implemented anything to accept those sorts of things, but we're definitely looking forward to that in the future.
Great. You know, I've heard about a lot of the growers and operators in the industry are sick of carrying around briefcases of, you know, millions of dollars. And I know these are first world problems, but, you know, now that banks are supposedly coming online and you'll be able to deposit your money into a bank, that leads me to feel that federal legalization is right around the corner. This is an exciting time to be in the industry and especially be in the heart of it. I know that you have friends all the way from Humboldt down to San Luis Obispo, and you're working very closely with all of them. And let me ask you this. As future strains are being developed, and right now the market's leading towards more gassy strains, but aficionados like myself like a little more fruit, what are you seeing as the market's demands?
I think the market demands right now is about 70% gas. That tends to be what we try to strive for and what you know, the manufacturers and distributors tend to ask for. We like to grow, you know, another 30% of flavors, and we run about Anywhere from 6 to 9 flavors, but it really comes down to making sure we keep it in 50-pound batches because that's what the testing requirements are. So we try to grow at least 50 pounds if we're going to grow it.
Great, great. Testing requirements are so stringent in California, and as you're leading the game in organics down here, and you're able to do what a lot of people wish they could do, you know, that really sets the bar very high for the rest of the people to follow. And I'm sure a lot of our Canadian investor friends and friends around the world will really take a close interest in how you're doing this. We're going to take a tour of your facility here in a minute and look at some of your beautiful cannabis plants that are growing here. I wanted to ask you also, as we move forward into the future and large-scale production takes place in the Salinas Valley, do you see industrial hemp coming online here, or is it going to be other parts of California, maybe in the Central Valley?
I would say if it's going to be California, it's probably going to be in somewhere that has a little bit better environment, more conducive to growing cannabis. Salinas or Monterey County came on board because they were very forward-thinking and they saw the market, but I think that environmentally, there's some other places that might be a little better weather, basically, for growing, you know, big crops like that.
Outdoor.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I know that a lot of your cannabis, your strains, are some of the most highly sought after strains in California because everybody knows that you're growing organically and you're growing the very best, top quality cannabis. And that's what I think investors want to know. The market demands the best. And here in California, we pretty much set the bar where people are willing to pay $60 for an eighth of the best weed. And we don't want swag. We don't want anything that's second grade. So, you know, I think that right now would be a great time to go take a look at some of the strains you got growing and see how you're doing it.
Sure, that sounds great.
That's great. Let's go take a look. Hey guys, we're here with TJ in this massive facility. I tell you, this place smells good. My first question is, where's that bong?
Yeah, we'll have to go somewhere. We don't actually smoke in here.
Great. Well, let's see. This place is beautiful. Your organic methods are clearly working beautifully in this highly automated facility. Please tell us a little bit about what's going on here.
So yeah, basically each one of these areas are depth bays. So we starve the plants of light to put them into flower so they, you know, kind of go into this flowering for us. And we are continuously harvesting, moving back and forth throughout this greenhouse, you know, trying to maximize the square footage of our facility.
Now, in maximizing square footage, what is the size of this facility here?
This is 47,000 square feet, 47,200.
47,000, you're harvesting perpetually, you're using soil, and you mentioned you're moving to a new bucket soon?
Yeah, we're not going to be actually using any of these buckets, we're going to be using beds. We just like beds, it's a little easier to buffer and have a good, basically like a really good, strong, healthy organic soil that way. So.
Great. Well, healthy soil means healthy plants.
Absolutely.
You know, and healthy plants are happy plants, and happy plants make happy customers and patients like me. Well, what are these strains here we have?
So these right here, I believe some of these are some OGs, and let me just smell. This is an OG, and we have a couple spatterings of some sherbets in here.
And some of these purples behind you?
Yeah, so these are a sunset sherbet, actually. So these are sunset sherbets.
Very popular. When will you harvest these?
These are going to be coming down pretty soon here, actually. We'll be taking these down probably in the next day or two, actually.
Great. I see you have a massive facility. Would you mind taking us for a walk, showing us what's happening?
Sure, no problem. I'd love to.
Let's take a walk, guys.
Awesome. Yeah, basically we like to treat each bay like a hospital patient, and we have schedules and maps for each bay, and we like to know exactly what's been put on those plants so we can monitor them and chart them and know how well the stuff that we are using is doing and how you know, what our success is.
Well, that's good for you as a master grower, but it's also good because that is the law requirements now.
Yeah,
track everything.
Absolutely. I mean, we deal with the Department of Agriculture. Every single bit of our, you know, we don't really use much pesticide, but everything that we have on site that we use is tracked, and we have to check in and be inspected. So it's really important that we keep really accurate records of everything.
Great. And you use homebrewed teas and beneficial nematodes and an automatic watering system, so it really must bring your cost of production down.
We're still working on bringing production costs down. I wish we could. Cannabis is one of those plants that is actually an extremely labor-intensive plant to produce. It's not quite the same as like maybe grapes or another plant.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of grapes, a lot of my friends from my previous background in agriculture, some of the grape farmers are now moving into cannabis south of us a little bit. And I'm wondering if some of the large ag companies here in the Salinas Valley are also considering this.
We actually have farms down south that are right in the same area with the grapes. We find that those environments down there are just perfect for growing cannabis. The hot heat, cold snap at night, low humidity. We really like the weather down there.
Amazing, good to know, good to know. And as you're building your purpose-built facility as it comes online soon, I'm sure that's going to be very fun for you as a master grower to be able to experiment with some of these new technologies and be able to use your cell phone to control humidity and depth systems and everything.
You know, sometimes, yeah, but you know, it's really one of those things that's really hands-on when it comes to cannabis, and I don't want to leave too much up to automation because you can really mess a lot of stuff up. So a little bit of automation, but we really, you know, this plant requires a human touch to be the best it can be.
Well, as a cannabis farmer myself, I always listen to the plants and I talk to them and I find out what they're needing. Every plant's different, every strain's different, you know. And then you mentioned something earlier that's very important as far as somehow we need to identify a way to make each strain universally the same. If someone has a blue dream in Canada and someone has a blue dream in California, they're virtually completely different. What do you see in the future for this?
Absolutely. I mean, phenomapping, getting to know exactly what's going on with each strain, and that's already kind of been happening on a rudimentary level. I think it's still a few years out until, you know, farmers like ourselves are going to be utilizing strains that have been, you know, maybe genome matched, I guess.
Yes, yes.
But, you know, working with our own strains makes it a lot easier for us to produce the highest quality product.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I understand you have a lot of people approaching you for your genetics, trying to get them into their labels, whether it be Tyson Ranch and other major people out there. And if you are being very selective of who you're deciding to work with, that must make you very excited, you know, as you go forward.
Yeah, I mean, basically what we like to do is, you know, treating cannabis like a commodity. We like to basically get a cultivation agreement with the different distributors so that we know when this is going to be coming down, estimated how much is going to be coming out of the square footage, and then I can supply their needs in at least 50-pound blocks to accommodate the testing schedules.
Right. Oh, this just in. I heard Canna Royalty might be moving into town with a company called Untitled Royalty. And on the board of directors would be the president of Oxley and the president of Canna Royalty. So if some neighbors like this are moving into town, this could be very interesting. These are some of the larger players in California. They're in about 80% of the dispensaries now. So as you're working together with all the neighbors in the community, this could be an exciting time where we could build brands together.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a commodity, you know, when people buy corn, they buy it from a lot of different farmers and not necessarily just from one source. And I think having, you know, the ability to be able to source from different farms is going to be really important.
Absolutely. Well, that brings me to my next point. I'm a big advocate for the small farmers. I've been a small farmer all my life. And so tomorrow we're going to be heading down to Big Sur and meeting with some of the Big Sur farmers in the association.
Awesome.
And what I would like to try and find is a way to co-opt these small farmers so they can stay active in the industry, maybe as small batch growers, and do things like small breweries are doing these days, getting their fine product for the connoisseurs and aficionados into the market legally. And if there's a way to track and trace all these and make sure that they're upholding organic standards, I think this could be very possible in the near future.
Absolutely, and like you mentioned, I mean, we're actually, you know, a group of, we all started off as small farmers. We're not just a big giant corporation, but we're actually Big Surific. It's one of our, you know, our other farms. So yeah, I can totally appreciate that, absolutely.
Well, we're so grateful to have you invite us in here to your beautiful farm. And I'm sure all our friends from Canada and around the world are going to be very happy to take this little tour with us. Would you mind showing us a little bit more of your facility?
Sure, no problem.
Great, let's take a walk, guys.
Sounds good.
Did you like how we gave it? So right now we're going to talk about your new bedding system. And if you guys could take a look down here, this is revolutionary. This is state of the art. This is the next thing. Tell us about it, please, TJ.
Well, I wouldn't say it's so much state of the art. I think we're kind of bringing it back to the basics, which means healthy soil is going to make healthy plants. And by being able to operate this as, you know, what it is, which is a whole entire biome going on inside of this soil. So we like to really cultivate the soil. You know, as much as we're growing plants, we're growing soil, which is really important to us. So by moving away from the pots, we just noticed huge differences in yields, the vitality of the plant, the health of the plant, and we just love using beds, tried and true.
Tried and true, wow. So you just brought this on recently, and this is going to be the future for your company, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like these were planted 7/26. So this was planted on the 26th, which was only 10 days ago.
Great.
So,
well, guys, Ed, James, it's been a pleasure seeing you guys today. We look forward to catching up with you tomorrow when we head down to Big Sur. TJ, thank you for your beautiful tour.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Bye, guys. Talk to you tomorrow.
Bye, Justin. That was awesome as usual. Aren't those fantastic? Like, wait till you see the one we got coming next week of this drone footage they got from Big Sur. It's just like stunning. I'm going to be down there next week, hopefully, to discuss.
Did you think it'd be a better name if they said Big Surf?
Well, I suppose maybe it would.
Why would I say these things? You look at me like, why? What? Is there something?
I'm trying to think. I'm waiting for the punchline.
Yeah.
Now let's
no
talk.
punchline there.
No, I see that. We're going to talk to some of our people down on YouTube right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Freedom Unleashed. Smart remark. Hence why they call the company Rise. Boom.
Is this the one that gives
sexual,
you the sexual enhancement?
Sexual feeling. That's the one. Erskine, Ascent Industries, CSE symbol ASNT. There are over 400 million fully diluted shares, and the price appears to be about 53 cents. Canadian LP with US and Danish operations. Erskine, here's a little quick, just a sentiment for you. Any company that's already got 400 million shares out and is only trading at 53 cents is going to be very hard to have a positive...
To move the needle?
Investor experience on, yeah, because they got to pack that much more value into each share before the price moves up. So we don't like stocks that have a bazillion shares out unless they've got $1 billion worth of stuff going on.
It's a lot I think another way of saying it too is if it's already capped at 200 million... What do they have to justify the 200 million? Is it likely to go to 400 million?
Well, I think we could do. We could at least do Erskine the honor and the favor of looking up this company, Ascent, ASNT. So here's what we're going to do, Ed.
All right.
We're going to pull up a chart.
Let's do that.
Does that mind?
I like that idea.
ASNT.
I like that idea.
ASNT, Ascent Industries Corp. Here it comes. 47 cents. 3.5 million shares traded.
Over there, that's a, wait, look at that. That thing's trading, that's traded one.
Wait a sec, this is the 1 year look and it's showing a 1 day. Okay.
No, it's showing.
Yeah, this is showing intraday, one trade.
Maybe that's it.
That's all she wrote.
Just started trading. That's the first day out.
Okay, no. Now this is the 1 day. So it opened at 55, it traded down at the end of the day.
But that's it.
Yeah, so it's a brand new issue. Is that what you're saying there, Erskine?
Ascent Industries.
Okay, well that's it's especially troubling to see a new issue come to market with 400 million shares out.
Well, let's look at the news.
Let's look at the news.
Maybe you know.
Start of trading on the CSE, and that's today.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look. Was formerly Paget Minerals. There's a big surprise. Former mining deal. Philip Campbell. Do you know Philip Campbell?
Nope.
Do I know Philip Campbell?
Maybe.
There's an interview at Proactive Investors, the low-cost investor communications company in the market. The company's operations currently include licensed facilities in British Columbia, Canada, Oregon, and Nevada. Okay. Production capacity will be increasing from 50 to 710,000 square feet in 2018. Okay. Product suite of more than 40 unique products. Okay.
What's a tincture?
Tincture. You don't know what it's a tincture.
That's what that's some of their consumer tinctures.
A tincture is basically a drinkable medicine.
You don't say.
I think so. I think I might just be making that up, though, because
I think you might be right.
I think that's what it is.
Well, let's see. Let's just keep guessing and not look it up.
All right, let's do that.
Because if we're wrong, then we'll be wrong forever.
Exactly. And if we think we're right and we just keep pretending
then
to be
we're right.
We're right. And you know what time it is? 4:20! Woo! You know what that means?
Means I get to have a drink.
No. 4:20 is not for drinking. 4:20 is for smoking, don't you know? Let's see what we got in the secret drawer here today.
We got anything?
No, we got no drugs in the drug drawer.
What?
The drug drawer is dry.
Say it ain't so.
Damn, the drug drawer is dry. Darn, that drug drawer.
Drug drawer.
Drug drawer.
Drug drawer.
We gotta somebody's got to fill up the drug drawer. Where's our green room? Where's our roadies? Come on, we need some. We need some.
Rodeos.
Rodeo, don't you know? Okay, so we got to talk for 10 more minutes, Ed. You know why?
Why?
Just cause we're trying to stay within a certain budget.
Okay, so let's see what the final
okay, let's
chart on Golden Ridge looks like.
Okay, we'll look at the close for Golden Ridge. I just wanted to also say hello to our friends on Facebook while we're still here. Jennifer Mason Haas, deal with Aurora. What's she talking about? New issue has a deal with Aurora. Ah, I see. Dan Goulet, the possibility of contamination makes me shudder. You're probably talking about this is interesting. Dan Goulet says, working in the Canadian cannabis industry, it blows me away that people are just able to walk into these grow areas with their street clothes and open hair. He's talking about footage from California. Well, Dan, I'm sure you probably are aware that in California, they've been growing marijuana outdoors and in scantily clad greenhouses for decades. And
as opposed to wearing like bacteria.
Yeah, the hysteria, I mean, marijuana plants are very, very hardy plants.
Hardy.
That's right.
Hardy.
And the things that you got to worry about in the outdoor environment, like thrips, whitefly, spider mites, you're going to get those one way or the other if you're wearing, you know, if you're completely zipped up in a sterile suit and bags over your hair, if you're going to get them in the outdoor environment. But so I don't think, you know, the U.S. people look at us in our sterile outfits and just kind of shake their heads.
Our hazmat suits?
Yeah.
Is that what we wear?
It's all started with Health Canada's stringent health standards on, you know, of course, now once you get it in the hands of the officialdom, there's...
Hey, lots of action going on between Saudi Arabia and Canada.
Yeah, what's that little hissy fit? What happened? This is because this blogger is in jail over there, and Canada keeps pressuring the Saudi government to release him on human rights grounds. And Saudi gets hit, spun in a knot, blows out all its Canadian assets, ejects the ambassador from Canada, and now what? We're in a Cold War with Saudi Arabia. Like, here, you know, I mean, not that I like to interfere in the affairs of other countries, not that I can, not that anybody cares, but I mean, I got to say that the human rights record of Saudi Arabia, when it comes to women, is pretty atrocious. So I stand
firmly, just because they can't drive, they can't go to school.
They can be killed for being a victim of rape by their husband or any member of their husband's family. Like all these crazy things that basically deny rights to women and children. And so I stand firmly behind our government when we sort of flip the bird to Saudi Arabia and say, you know what, you guys clean up your act, then maybe we'll sell some assets back to you at a higher price, geniuses. That's my 2 cents worth. That's all I have to say about that. What do you think about that, Ed? You got an opinion there?
Well, I think the problem is that when you pick certain countries to go after, there's other countries that you should go after too, because you're targeting. Like, for instance, there's other countries with probably just as bad
human rights abuses,
rules against women.
Oh yeah, Afghanistan, Tajikistan,
whatever. I mean, a lot of the stands, right?
Yeah.
I don't.
We're getting lots of anger from the crowd here. Like,
what?
I see that we've probably veered off too strongly into.
Let's move on.
Yes, let's move on.
You know what?
I love that though. People can express anger
quickly,
very quickly, and we see it right away. Okay, How about this? Let's just keep our nose out of everybody else's business. How's that for a deal?
Let's keep
High fives on that, Ed.
Keep our nose clean. Ouch. Jeepers, creepers.
All right.
Okay, so here is the joke that I was reminded of. I finally got, what you call a chameleon
with no,
whose colors don't change?
A chameleon whose colors don't change.
Yeah.
A lizard?
No, reptile. A reptile dysfunction. A reptile dysfunction.
Okay.
Not erectile dysfunction. That's
Didn't we have that joke last week?
Yeah, but you didn't get it then. You didn't get it now.
Well, I kind of get it.
I'm going to keep
not
asking
that funny. I mean, a reptile dysfunction.
A reptile dysfunction. Okay. Which would be.
All right.
Okay, give me an example of a reptile dysfunction.
Oh, right here. No, actually, I have a fully functioning reptile. Actually.
Yeah. Yes, I've heard people call.
Some might say overactive. Marc-Antoine Dubé, hello. Victor Taboyka, hello. Dan Goulet, Jennifer Mason, we said hello to already.
Victor Taboyka, that's the name I recognize.
Ivano Vivashini is here. Ivano, how the hell are you? It's been forever. I'm coming to Vancouver next week. Let's go for a drink. John Anderson, also from Vancouver. Hi, John. John grew up just down the road from me in Baldwin, Ontario, believe it or not. It's true.
Is that John Anderson? Did he have a sister?
John Anderson have a sister?
I think, because I know a John Anderson, and I knew his sister, and then I met John.
John?
They're originally from London.
You're on Facebook right now. Can you tell us if you have a sister? I don't know if he has a sister. I don't remember. My good friend Craig Bagshaw is on our program right now, and you know what Craig does? Craig runs
Craigslist.
Pirate Ship Cove down on the QEW just outside of Jordan. I mean, right at the foot of Jordan, one might say. You know, where you go down the QEW and you get to Jordan just before St. Catharines and Niagara, and there's that giant shipwreck on the side of the road where the Beacon Hotel used to be, and it's now a Ramada.
Yeah.
My buddy, Bags, runs a Pirate Ship Cove, which it's like an outdoor water park that covers like 50 acres, and it's got all these different
That's the
things
ship?
on it.
One ship?
No. The ship is the ship. The Pirate Ship Cove has all these fun things
Attractions.
to do. Attractions. Rides.
Yeah.
Events. You can do like flyboarding there. Have you ever tried that?
No.
We should do a show from flyboards. You be on one flyboard. I'll be on the
flyboard. Have
other.
you tried that?
I haven't tried it actually, but
what if we couldn't get up?
I've got an in. We can try it.
What if we couldn't get up on them?
Ed, I've not had any trouble getting it up. Have you?
Well, let's just say ED.
Okay, this conversation has just fallen to a whole new low, and I think, shit, we still got 2 minutes to go.
Well, okay,
anyways,
let's make something up here. Let's look at the chart of Golden here one more time.
We started buying Golden Ridge today, and we're buying it on a proximity basis to the Golden Ridge, or the Golden Triangle up there in northern BC. We're also buying it because our good friend Mike Blighty is the CEO.
Mike is a competent fellow.
He's a competent dude. He's a hell of a golfer.
He's a golfer.
Listen to us. And he's not a client. He doesn't give us free stock or anything.
No.
But anyways, so Golden Ridge is 50 kilometers down the road from Aben Resources, which is why this should be of interest. GLDN is the symbol. This stock traded 4 million shares today and is up 60% just based on its proximity to Aben Resources. We know they have...
Oh, I think there's a little more going on here, though.
Well, they've got drill core at the lab.
And they've got some, I think...
Drill core announcement imminent. The last announcement...
And it looks like a porphyry, so it's going to be big widths. Big widths.
Big
wide widths.
Big whips.
What's another way to describe a width that's wide? A wide width.
A wide width.
Like triple E. Like your shoe width.
My shoes are long. Anyways.
I don't think anybody's going to fill those shoes.
Nobody's going to fill my shoes. Nobody would want to. Believe me. Anyways. What do I mean by... Whoa! There's that monster hand again. I just whacked my funny bone. That hurts. I don't know why they call it the funny bone. Anyway, so let's zoom in on the action.
Now that backed off to
21 cents it closed at. 5.1 million shares traded.
Wow.
I know.
And what
does that
take a
chart
look
tell
at?
you?
Well, I don't like the tail here. Or at the wick.
You don't like the tail? I thought you did like the tail.
The wick. I don't like the wick.
Oh, the wick. That's a big wick.
That's a big wick. We need new material, I think.
I think
Well, look, here we had a big tail.
That looks like a cross.
Yeah.
Or a sword.
But so it basically opened where it closed.
Yeah. Is that a technical thing?
Yeah. It's a specific candle.
Yeah. So it's up, closed up 10.5% today.
Yeah, I know.
Whoa.
Nothing wrong with that program.
No, look at that. So Golden Ridge is likely going to keep on plowing on value as people accumulate it ahead of the results.
Look, they come out with some spectacular results on these holes because they're big widths. It's a porphyry. Porphyries get snapped up. Like you know, you go out and get snapped up.
Yeah.
Porphyries get snapped up.
I don't get snapped up.
Well, I'm not so sure.
Anyways.
Okay, so here we go. We're getting down to the end of the day.
Short and curlies here. It's the end of the day. So tomorrow, let's see, what do we got going tomorrow? We have, I'm going to pull up the schedule here. And see, we've got, what did you say, Suzanne? We've got to talk to Suzanne in the control room. Suzanne! What's going on tomorrow? Who have we got?
We have Fortress Blockchain CEO.
Aiden Killick.
Fortress Blockchain CEO. Thank you. What was the difficulty in the holdup in delivering that information to the floor out here? Like, boy, oh boy. Anyways, Fortress Blockchain is going to be here tomorrow, so we're going to talk a little bit about blockchain. We're going to have, isn't Brad Rogers from CannTrust here tomorrow too?
Next week.
That's next week. Okay, so next week we got more Justin Marshall tomorrow from Big Sur, California, and that is going to wrap up our show. So again, tell everybody, if you like it. If you don't. We don't care.
Tell them anyway.
Tell them anyway. And so, yeah, subscribe, you know, all that stuff. Hit the alert button. Just sign up to the newsletter.
Right.
We're going to give something away for what?
Like a gift?
Yeah. We're going to give away like a pound of weed.
We're
going to give away a pound of Maui Wowie.
Can a co-host get that gift?
No. You're going to be giving it away.
Can you imagine if he said, you won't believe this. This is just the most amazing thing. Like, let's say it's
I won the draw.
$5 million gift, and you say, we're going to give it to, pick a number, Ed Milewski. Holy smokes. You think people would think something's funny?
I think they think something was funny, yeah. But not in the way that you think funny is funny.
And then let's say we had 10 of those draws, and I won every one. They'd say there's something wrong here.
I would think they would think that the game was rigged.
The game was rigged. Okay, well, that's okay.
Anyways, join us. Come back tomorrow if you've got nothing better to do.
We'll be back tomorrow.